Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery are both still available. And Bob Nightingale says 4 MLB teams that weren't interested all of a sudden now are. Could the Cubs be one of those teams, or maybe they've been there the whole time? We're going to talk about that. Hayden Wesneski with a really good start against the Reds last night. We're going to get into that. And also, they've made it clear that we're not going to see Owen, Caissie, or Matt Shaw in the big leagues to break camp. But I'll tell you what, so far, those two guys have been worth the price of admission. We're going to get into that as well. From Mesa, that's where we're at right now, the hotel right next to the Cubs spring training park in Mesa, Sloan Park. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk all about the Cubs and get you ready for what is really turning out to be an interesting spring training. Let's get this thing going. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. That's a great way of saying go Cubs. And here's your invitation. Hey, everybody, it's Mick Gillispie from Mesa, Arizona. Great to talk to you guys and go Cubs. At broadcaster Mick on the socials. And it's been fun talking to you guys in the comments section and also on Twitter as well. But let's get into this because it's interesting. And I wasn't sure if the Cubs would have the money to be able to sign a Jordan Montgomery or a Blake Snell. I think they're going to have to be creative to do so, but I think that there's a path that they could. And what I'm hearing is that right now there's some teams that weren't going to be in this that are in it just because both of these guys are saying, hey, at least their agent, Scott Boras, is they're willing to do a deal that resembles what the Cubs were able to pull off with Cody Bellinger. It's basically like here, it's a 3-year deal or it's a 4-year deal, but there's opt-outs in there. The market hasn't been great for the Boras clients this time around. Maybe it'll be different next year. Honestly, there's a lot of us that are glad just because we were kind of sick of seeing teams just get absolutely run in these deals. Whereas this year, it's been more of a fair playing field. And I don't think it's because of collusion. I just think it's because of the market. But you're talking about some difference makers. Jordan Montgomery, what he was able to do last year with Texas, helping them win the World Series. Blake Snell's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Both left-handers. If the Cubs were able to pull this off, it's going to probably include some kind of a trade. We talked about it before. You got to get some money off the books. And for them, that would probably be, if you could do it, Drew Smyly, if someone was willing to make that trade, and if they looked at what Drew Smyly did at the beginning of last year, they'd say, hey, you know what? Yeah, let's take a risk on him. But middle of the season, not good. Then in the bullpen, he was pretty solid. So we'll see what happens. But the fact that Bob Nightingale's mentioning it, and then you're hearing guys who cover the Cubs every day saying that there's a possibility. The Cubs have been linked to Montgomery the entire offseason. I haven't heard them really, associated with Snell, but Snell's the better of the two pitchers. I mean, think about it. He's a guy that's won, 2 Cy Youngs, and he can be as dominant as any pitcher in baseball. It's all been about staying healthy for him. So we'll see what happens there. And honestly, if the Cubs pull it off, it would really just conclude an offseason that I got to admit, like in that didn't get Shohei Ohtani. But I'll tell you what, they were very creative with what they were able to do. Craig Counsell coming in. They got Cody Bellinger back, Shota Imanaga in. So we know who knows. Now, Michael Busch, who they also got in the offseason, hit his first Cubs home run at the Reds last night. That was pretty cool to see that big swing that he has and connected. And it was like a dead away center field shot. We know that he's got the potential to do some damage, and we finally saw that. Now, the guy that started the game, I thought pitched really well, Hayden Wesneski. 3 innings, gave up a run. He was mixing it up. His slider was really good last night. And it gives you hope that, maybe he's eventually going to turn the corner. obviously we were hoping that it would either be him or Kalen Killian, or maybe both, but Killian is going to be on the IL for a while. He has a shoulder issue. We talked about the MRI. They're saying the All-Star break for him. So that's half a season out of the mix now. So it makes a guy like Wesneski just that more important. A couple guys that I want to talk about. Now, you pointed it out. I was talking about Christopher Morel, and I didn't mention both errors yesterday, or 2 days ago in the game, and he did. He made 2 errors at third base. One of them was just a ground ball that he dropped, and I guess to me, the thing that worries me the most about him is his ability to catch the ball and throw it across the diamond. So I guess that's why I was talking about that other error, but Matt Shaw at third base played third again last night. He just looks like a fish in water. He's so good defensively. He's got the good hands. It seems like he's in position. His feet, kind of always helping him get to the ball and obviously be, in position to make the plays when they come to him. He's not going to make the team out of spring training. The Cubs have made that clear. Owen Caissie, who's also been a star through the early spring as well, are both going back to the minor leagues. I would say Shaw's going to be in Double-A and Caissie's going to be in Triple-A. That doesn't mean that these guys won't make the Cubs this year. They keep putting up the numbers, and if the opportunities fall in their advantage, maybe they could possibly get there. But going to be interesting to see how spring continues to go, because right now, like we talked about yesterday, the third base spot just is such a big concern. You're just not really getting anyone to grab the job. Morel doesn't look comfortable. He's committing a lot of errors, which Craig Counsell says that he wants him to commit errors. And I guess part of that is as he watches him make mistakes, they can go work on trying to teach him how to fix those mistakes, right? But it just doesn't look natural for him at all playing over at third base it for whatever reason. And maybe it's that the ball gets on you so fast. Maybe when you catch it, you have a lot more time to think about it. So we'll see if he develops. I'm not saying that he doesn't have the capability of being able to figure that out. But what I'm saying is when you watch Shaw play third base, it looks like the guy's been there for years, magical. He got the third base last year, and it was just like, hey, I can do this. For Morel, it's been a lot tougher. But when he's at the plate, he's also a guy that does a lot more damage than those guys with his power, his ability to hit home runs and everything else. All right, look. If you're in Mesa, maybe we'll run into you at the Cubs game today. It's going to be a pretty fun weekend. Tomorrow, which is Saturday the 9th, I'm going to be part of the Cubs ceremony where they give their championship rings out to the Tennessee Smokies, their Double-A affiliate, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So get to say a few words and then read everyone's name down. There's going to be some other stuff going on, but they'll be on the field Saturday too. If you watch the game on television or you're here, they're going to actually honor the players after that happens. So be fun. It's what spring training is all about. So anyway, get in the comments section. Tell me what you guys think. We'll keep an eye on what's happening with these 2-star pitchers. Is there a possibility that the Cubs make another splash? I think there is, but I'm guessing that they're going to have to figure out how to make it work financially. I've said that before, but it's not impossible because there's other teams out there that are kind of in a spot where they wouldn't mind having a lefty. So maybe if the Cubs sign one of the bigger guys, then they're able to ship off, someone like a Smiley, which could potentially be a really good pitcher for a team, including the Cubs, for a lesser price. So I'm guessing that's how that would work out. But don't hold me accountable if it doesn't happen that way, because what I've found is that a lot of this has to do with the partner that you're trying to bring in and who they're interested in. So if the Cubs are even in this mix, but I just have a feeling that the Cubs would love to have one more ace pitcher in this staff going into spring training, because you can never have enough pitching, guys. All right, thanks for hanging out with us. We talked about the Tennessee Smokies. Let me remind you guys that the channel is brought to you by the Smokies team store right now, smokiesbaseball.com/store. That's your opportunity to go there and pick up some great Cubs and Smokies gear. And thanks for hanging out with us. And we will talk to you guys again soon. Go Cubs.